जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो पंकजनाभाय नमो पंकजमालिने नमो पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptan sanjivayata kila shakti dara swadhamna anyam shahasta charana shravana tvagadin prananamo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam katanchana smrite yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet vismrite viparitam syat Sri Chaitanya namamitam. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming today evening for the last session on this series of Srimad Bhagavatam, lessons from Srimad Bhagavatam. So today is the fourth and the concluding session. Today we will discuss, yesterday we concluded with the pastime of the Brahmanas' wives getting Krishna's mercy, and the whole theme was how the Brahmanas knew everything about Krishna, but they didn't know Krishna. They were not close to the Lord. Whereas the Brahmana wives, they were not very educated and they were not very scholarly. But when it mattered the most, they could choose Krishna. So we discussed how the simple offering of the heart is more important than lofty knowledge. Today we'll discuss on how we can actually know Krishna, what exactly it means to have a relationship with the Lord. So for that we'll discuss the pastime from the 15th chapter of the first canto, which is when the Pandavas, they choose to retire from their kingdom. For the pastime, briefly, is as follows. Krishna is in Dwarka, Pandavas are in Hastinapur, and Arjuna decides to go and visit Krishna, and he doesn't come back for a long time. Maharaj Yudhishthira is very concerned. What has happened to Arjuna? Why has he not returned? And finally Arjuna comes back and he's very forlorn, he's very weak. And Yudhishthira Maharaj asks him, what happened? Why do you look so weak? And then Arjuna reveals how Krishna has left this world and he was trying to protect the queens of Dwarka, but he was defeated by infidel cowherd men, ordinary people with ordinary bows. And he says, I'm Arjuna, the greatest warrior, but I was defeated by very, very ordinary people. I lost all power because Krishna is not here. And then he is in extreme depression because Krishna has left this world. At that time, what gives him solace? What gives him peace? Because we all will go through situations where we'll be extremely overwhelmed and we will feel weak and lonely. Somebody like Arjuna has felt weak. What to speak of you and me? Arjuna was someone who could control wind, he could control cyclone by the prowess of his bow and arrows. And he has felt overwhelmed. So this means we also will feel. But just like Arjuna got strength from something, we also can derive the same strength. So what helped Arjuna? The Bhagavatam reveals in the 27th verse of the 15th chapter that he began to meditate on all the instructions and guidance he received from Krishna. So during times of distress, when we meditate on the Vani, the instructions, the sound potency, we derive lot of peace. So these are 4 verses in this chapter which reveal the power of sound and what happens when we take shelter of the instructions. So you can please repeat after me these verses. First one. Desha kalartha yuktani rittapo pashamani cha haranti smaratas chittam Govinda bihitani me. Desha kalartha yuktani. There is something which is extremely powerful at all times, places and circumstances. And that is something, this is that thing which can give lot of peace to the heart. Hrit tapo pashamanicha. The heart can get lot of peace. And that is when our consciousness is fixed on Haranti smaratas chittam Govinda bihitani me. Bihitani means the instructions. When one meditates on the instructions of Krishna, one can feel that peace. That means Arjuna, who was in extreme distress, he found peace and strength when he took shelter of the instructions of Krishna. And actually what happens when we hear or when we meditate on, like what it means is, for example, you go back home today and you write down what you learned from this class and you put it in a small diary. Later on, when you are, as a part of your daily sadhana, you read it, it may not register so much. But suddenly one of the days you go through some distress and as part of your daily study, you read the same stuff, you read the same diary, and suddenly at that particular moment, it will make complete sense to you. That is the power of hearing. That is the power of regular study. So the scriptures explain what happens when we what happens when we regularly read and study and meditate on the instructions. Evam chintayato jishno Krishna pada saroruham saurdenati gadena Shanta Vimalamati. When we meditate on Krishna's instructions, slowly that meditation leads to Krishna Pada Saroruham. That meditation leads to the meditation on Krishna's lotus feet. More we meditate on the instructions, that leads to meditation on Krishna's lotus feet, and that lotus feet starts expanding in the heart, which means our remembrance of Krishna becomes like a blooming lotus. Saroruham is lotus. So our consciousness gets completely filled with Krishna. And then, Saurdenati Gadena, our relationship with Krishna becomes intense, intimate. Shanta Sid Vimalamati. We become peaceful. And if we continue to do this, what is the first thing we have started doing? Instructions. Everything begins with the instructions, hearing or studying. Once we do that, then meditation on Krishna's form also expands in the heart. Once these two things happen, and if we continue hearing and studying, then something amazing happens. Something starts growing and something starts diminishing in the heart. What is that? Vasudevangri anudhyana Paribrahmita ramhasa Bhaktya nirmatita shena Kashaya dishanorjuna. So the more we meditate on Krishna's instructions and Krishna's lotus feet, these two things we have already started doing. Vasudevangri anudhyana paribrahmita. Something starts expanding rapidly. Ramhasa, with a great force. What expands in the heart with a great force? Two things. Bhaktya, devotional attachment to Krishna grows in the heart. And what starts reducing? Ashesha Kashaya, unlimited dirt which is there in the heart, that starts evaporating and unlimited love starts expanding. Bhaktya nirmatita ashesha kashaya dishanorjuna. This is what happens to us. After hearing all of this, there are three things that will happen. First, we have to hear about Krishna. After hearing, a meditation increases on the lotus feet, and the meditation on lotus feet expands to remembering Krishna in our lives, and our devotional service grows, and the unlimited contamination goes away. Amazing, amazing. But I have a problem. I am not like Arjuna. Arjuna was lucky. He had directly Krishna's association, and therefore he could get all this benefit. This is all Arjuna's story, right? Arjuna could get all of this because you could argue that he had personal association of Krishna. And we don't get that. So Sutta Goswami explains, no. We are also as lucky as Arjuna, believe it or not, because we have two things with us which can give us association of Krishna. Okay, before we get into that, what is the whole process? First, what we have to do? Start meditating on instructions. The more we meditate on Krishna's instructions, more our concentration will go on Krishna's lotus feet. And that will start blooming in the heart like a lotus. We'll become Krishnaized. And then two advantages we get when this meditation increases. One thing starts growing. What is that? Bhakti, devotional service. And something starts reducing. What is that? The dirt or contamination in the heart. After all of this, if you give an argument that I am not Krishna, I don't have Krishna's association like Arjuna had, then we have an amazing blessing that Sutta Goswami gives and reassures. We have two things with us because of which we are in as fortunate position as Arjuna. And what are the two gifts we have? Geetam Bhagavatam Jnanam Yattat Sangrama Murdhani Kala Karma Tamo Ruddham Punaradhyagamat Prabhu. We have Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Geetam Bhagavatam Jnanam. Because of these two, we can also fight the war like Arjuna fought the battlefield. He fought on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Yattat Sangrama Murdhani. This is a battlefield. All of us are in a battlefield. And we are also fighting three enemies like Arjuna fought the Kauravas. We are also facing attacks from three things. Kala, Karma, Tamo, Ruddham, time. Our own results of our own activities. And Tamo, darkness or ignorance. These three attack us like Arjuna was attacked by the Kauravas. So when we are attacked by this and we have shelter of what? What shelter we have? Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Then we will also become Punaradhyagamat Prabhu. We will also become Prabhu. We will also become Master. We will also have control over our senses. We will also experience peace. So it all begins with scriptures, knowledge, Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna got benefits because he knew Krishna. But the difference is, we also know Krishna. We have also heard Bhagavatam classes. But the way Arjuna knows Krishna is different from the way we know the Lord. See, when you will hear in the Bhagavad Gita, so many places Krishna says, if you simply know me, you will be happy. If you simply know me, you will be delivered. If you simply know me, there is no more birth and death. Many places, 4th chapter, 7th chapter, 10th chapter, Krishna keeps saying that just know me. If you know me, all problems are solved. And I know devotees who say, I know Krishna. And I have heard all the Bhagavad Gita, I can memorize, I can tell you all the verses. So, I know Krishna, but why am I not happy? Therefore, there is a caveat here. When we say, I know Krishna, there is something else that has to be included in that knowing. And then we will be happy. That is very important for us to understand. And it's a small thing. We have to all make a small adjustment. Trust me, a small adjustment in our knowledge of Krishna will make us completely happy. And that's what we're discussing now. In the 4th chapter, 9th verse, Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tektva deham punarjanma neti mameti. So Arjuna, one who knows my birth and activities, tatvatah, one who knows it in truth, he doesn't have to take birth again. He'll always be happy. And you are like, I know it. I've read it. I've heard it in the classes for the last 25 years. But I'm not happy. What is going wrong? So therefore, what does it actually mean to know Krishna? Is it enough to study scriptures and academically know? Like I have read the Gita, I know I have PhD. Does that mean I can be happy? No. See, there is a very important understanding. Knowing Krishna does not mean theoretical information of Krishna. It means loving Him. You'll think, really? Yes. Knowing Krishna is equal to loving Krishna. Only when we love Krishna, then we know Krishna. Not loving like the gopis, maybe not be at that level. But Krishna explains very clearly what exactly it means to love Krishna or know Krishna. 7.19 Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. If we really know Krishna, we'll surrender. We'll offer our heart to Krishna. Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Simply knowing means not academic knowledge. It means the ability to offer our hearts to the Lord. So therefore, this verse makes it very clear that real knowledge culminates in offering of our heart to Krishna. Real knowledge is an expression of love. See, just knowing all the pastimes, we may read the Krishna book and we may know all the pastimes. But if you don't engage lovingly with Krishna, in Krishna's service, then it is like reading the menu card when you go to I don't know if you have Govinda's restaurant here. In Mumbai, we have a very fancy restaurant. We get all kinds of exotic pizzas and all Italian, Mexican items. And you read the menu card. Wow. And you know the menu card very well. You know everything. All the items in the menu card. And somebody asks you, have you tasted any of them? No, I have not tasted any item. I know the menu card very well. So, does he really know? No. Knowing the menu card is not the same as experiencing the food that is there in the restaurant. Similarly, when we say knowing Krishna, we may know Krishna like we know the food items in the menu card. But when we experience Krishna in our lives, then we know. Because real knowing of Krishna is intimate. It's personal. And therefore, in the 10th chapter, verse number 10 and 11, Krishna makes it very clear. What does it mean to know Krishna? See, once we know this, once we know what is knowing Krishna, then we can discuss how to attain that knowledge. Therefore, I am giving a background. It's very important. Krishna says in the 10.10 that if we engage in offering our heart to Krishna, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. If we engage in devotional service with love, bhajatam priti, then Krishna says, I will give you the knowledge. I will give you the intelligence by which you can come to me. What does Krishna do actually? He enters the heart. Teshameva nukampartam aham ajnana jamtama nashayamatma bhavasto jnana dipena bhasvata. He removes the darkness of ignorance in our heart with the torchlight of knowledge. He illuminates the heart with knowledge. And we understand Krishna. Therefore, the key word here is bhajatam priti purvakam, offering of our heart with love. This is the game changer in Bhakti Yoga. We are not practicing simply rituals like the Brahmanas were practicing, whom we discussed about yesterday. We need to offer our heart with priti purvakam. Then we can understand Krishna. Then we can become free from birth and death. Then we can become happy. Therefore, love is when transformation happens. Bhagavad Gita knowledge, attending these classes in the temple can only give you information. But it is love that can cause transformation. Information is not equal to transformation. Information plus love. Then the change happens. Otherwise, you will be in ISKCON for 25 years and still feel that the process doesn't work because we haven't added the element of love. So the knowledge is there. You come for 6 months to ISKCON, you will get all knowledge. But that knowledge has to be added with humility, gratitude, appreciation, and the service mode. Then the magic happens in our lives. Srila Prabhupada often emphasized, if you are practicing Bhakti Yoga, please know Bhakti is not dry philosophy. We have not come here to become philosophers. It's all about a loving relationship. It's emotional, it's devotional, it's practical. So therefore, it is love that leads to Bhakti realization. You'll see devotees here chanting, reading, serving, coming to temple. We are not come here to know about Krishna. We have come here to have a relationship with Krishna. Our whole process is, Krishna is Supreme Lord, and if we offer our heart, the Lord reciprocates. In fact, if there is knowledge and love, let's say somebody has a lot of knowledge and somebody has a lot of love. Who do you think Krishna reciprocates with more? Love. Krishna's reciprocation with knowledge is not as much as he reciprocates with love. Therefore, yes, when we say you should know Krishna, what we mean is we need to love Krishna. And love is the highest form of knowledge. That is what was the main quality of the wives of Brahmanas whom we spoke about yesterday. So, when we say to know, I want to know Krishna in truth, what that means is I want to serve Krishna with a heart full of affection, full of love. And that's what will deliver. So now let us understand how we can develop this love for Krishna. How we can actually develop knowledge about Krishna. So we should know first that there are 3 levels of knowing Krishna. So I'll tell you what are the 3 levels. You don't tell me, but you tell yourself. You answer this question, in which level are you in? Okay? Knowing is nuanced, it's subtle. So let's say, I'll give an example. So recently when I was in temple, somebody said, Arey, you know Sharmaji? Sharmaji came today to temple. So there were 5 of us sitting. So the leader of the temple came and said, Arey, Sharmaji came. Do you know Sharmaji? What is the question asked? Do you know Sharmaji? Now instead of Sharmaji, you replace it with Krishna. Do you know Krishna? So when he asked, do you know Sharma? Mr. Sharmaji has come. One brahmachari said, I know him. Oh, that fellow with the big mustache, right? And the big stomach and bald. You're talking about the same guy? So then the leader said, yes. So then the first fellow said, yes, I know him. He's that man with a big mustache. I've seen him in the temple. So this is the first level of knowing Sharma, Mr. Sharma. The second level of knowing is, another devotee said, oh, I know Sharmaji. Oh, he is the one. He studied in this law college. I was in the same college. I went to his house once for prasadam. I know him. He has 2 sons. Yeah. If you see now, at level 2, this person knows Mr. Sharma little more than the first person. Right? So the first person's knowing of Sharmaji is casual knowledge. Casual knowing. Second person's knowing of Sharmaji is personal familiarity. There is a difference between casual knowing and personal familiarity. But there was a third person in the group. When he heard, do you know Sharmaji? He smirked and he smiled and he said, Prabhu, I know him too well. He's my buddy. He is my very, very close friend. So basically, he was hinting at a very intimate, very nuanced, very living experience, very, very lively relationship. So all 3 claim to know Mr. Sharma. But the third person actually knows him completely. So what is the third person? See, there is 3 things. First one was casual knowledge. Second one was personal familiarity. The third one is interesting. It is an intimate experience. So, and all 3 of them say they know Mr. Sharma. Now similarly, when I say I know Krishna, it can be at one of these 3 levels. So please ask at which level you are in. First level is theoretical knowing of Krishna, informational knowledge of Krishna. like a scholar who knows the facts, like somebody who can rattle off verses 7.3, 7.19, 10.10, 10.11. I memorized these verses. If you ask me what is 18.66, I'll immediately tell you. So you'll say, wow, you know Krishna? Yes, but that is theoretical, informational knowledge. I know about someone. But the second level of knowing Krishna is personal experience. When does that happen? When do you come to the second level of knowing Mr. Sharma ji or Krishna in this example? When you start sincerely practicing, when you start hearing regularly, you start chanting every day, offering food to Krishna, you start feeling Krishna's presence in your life. Then you are knowing Krishna with some relationship. Do you get this? What is the first? Knowing Krishna with theoretical knowledge or information. Second is some personal connection. And third level is we know Krishna when we offer our hearts completely. We say, Krishna, I surrender. Krishna, I belong to you. And when there is affection in our service, when there is deep emotional connection, that is third level of knowing. I'll give a very mundane example. How many of you have heard the name Virat Kohli? Anybody? Please raise your hand. Don't be shy. I'm not going to give a class on Virat Kohli. So Virat Kohli is a very famous person in India. And recently, he has made Krishna consciousness very attractive to the youth in India because he went to one very famous Babaji 3 times in 1 year. And there were videos of him chanting on his beats, on his counter beats. It went viral. So now let us say Virat Kohli. 3 people say, I know Virat Kohli. First one says he's a fan. He will quote all the stats of Virat Kohli. How much he has played cricket and all the social media updates he knows. So this person who knows Virat Kohli is at level 1. What level? Informational knowing of Virat Kohli. Second person is his teammate. Who is his teammate? Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma. They say, I know Virat Kohli. I know his strength. I know his weakness. I know his character. I know his mood. Very good. So this is personal. So first level of knowing is informational. Second is personal. And then Virat Kohli's mother or his wife, Anushka Sharma, she says, I know Virat Kohli. And what does she know? She knows more than the first two, right? She knows his heart. That is relational. So when we say, I know Krishna, please ask yourself, do you have informational relationship with Krishna? Do you have a personal relationship with Krishna? Or do you have a relational relationship with Krishna? Is there some relationship? So when Krishna says, one who knows me will be happy, he is talking about this third type of knowing, the way Virat Kohli's mother or wife knows him. We have to know Krishna like this, in a relationship. Then we will be happy always. So, spiritual knowing is at 3 levels. First is jnana, information. Second is vijnana, which is realized knowledge. And third is preeti, or love. So therefore, when we are reading scriptures, we study, we become expert in Sanskrit, grammar, knowledge, we know Krishna's name, form, pastimes, we are all at the level of jnana. But when we start chanting every day, you've seen preachers tell people, please start chanting. And you are thinking, what is this? Why are they telling us to chant on the beats? Why do they tell us to do deity worship? And why are they pushing us to wear kantimala? See, we are not fanatics. We are doing that because we want you to move from jnana to vijnana. We want you to realize this knowledge. Because when we start practicing, when we get experience, we rise higher from informational to personal relationship with Krishna. And then, as you associate with devotees more, they will tell you, please offer your heart, please surrender. That is because that's when you will have a heart-to-heart connection with Krishna. So you'll see across the scriptures, devotees will emphasize that real knowledge of Krishna is only possible through what? Real knowledge of Krishna is possible through love, through offering of our heart. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita 7.3, Krishna confirms, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatamapi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvatah. He says, out of millions of people, hardly one person tries to understand me. And out of millions of people who try to understand me, hardly one person actually knows me. So therefore, this tattvata, knowing Krishna, is possible only to those who are constantly devoted. So therefore, knowing Krishna means moving from information to some connection and then to actual transformation. So therefore, please understand, bhakti is not dry philosophy, it's a relationship. So Srila Prabhupada, I can give you many, many quotes. I did some research. Prabhupada, so many quotes. Prabhupada says, unless one is a lover of Krishna, one cannot explain Krishna properly. I'll repeat this. This is Vrindavan, 1977. Unless one is a lover of Krishna, one cannot explain Krishna properly. So when we say knowledge, please understand, knowledge means what happens. See, when we are doing devotional service, Krishna reciprocates with us. So when Krishna reciprocates, we get some knowledge. Like when Krishna does reciprocation or Krishna reveals certain things to us. And that knowledge, so when Krishna says, somebody who knows me will be happy, he is referring to this knowledge, the knowledge which he gives us because of reciprocation. So let us now move forward. Let us see how we can enter this stage. What is the first stage? In ISKCON, in Bhakti, our journey is when we are a visitor to the temple. A visitor to ISKCON temple is at which level? The level 1. He has information. So we want to rise from being a visitor to a practitioner. A visitor has information, knowledge of Krishna. A practitioner has little personal experience of Krishna. And please ask yourself where you are. Are you a visitor? Are you a practitioner? Or are you at the third level? What is the third level? Lover. So all three have knowledge, but the lover has complete knowledge of Krishna. So how do we move from being visitor to a practitioner? Discipline, sincerity, commitment, daily practice, sadhana. This is how we move. So if you are a visitor and you want to become a practitioner, please connect with devotees, start chanting, make some consistent practice. That's how we move from being a visitor to a practitioner. Let us say you are a practitioner. You say, Prabhu, I've been coming to this temple for the last 10 years. I'm a practitioner. I want to rise to being a lover of Krishna. Then you have to start doing a few things like being vulnerable, surrendering, offering the heart with emotions, intense prayers, coming in front of the Lord, spending time with the Lord. Basically, we have to move beyond simply the practice. We need to connect to Krishna. So this is how we move from being a visitor to a practitioner to a lover. From reading to relating to Krishna, and then eventually having a relationship with Krishna. So therefore, this is a very beautiful quote. I want you to repeat after me. This is the section of Madhavendra Puri, where Srila Prabhupada quotes this famous verse from the Brahma Samhita. Do you know this verse? Vedeshu durlabha madurlabha matma bhakto. Brahmaji is saying that I cannot be known by all the Vedas. I can be only known when there is love. So in that purport, Srila Prabhupada writes an extremely powerful statement. Please repeat after me. One cannot understand Krishna simply by reading Vedic literature. Although all Vedic literature is meant for understanding Krishna, one cannot understand him without being a lover of Krishna. Amazing statement. I'll just repeat this again. Please repeat again. It's beautiful. One cannot understand Krishna simply by reading Vedic literature. Although all Vedic literature is meant for understanding Krishna, one cannot understand him without without being a lover of Krishna. Even Srila Prabhupada would sometimes say, just love Krishna, that's all. Because that's the way. We have example of Shishupal. Shishupal knew everything about Krishna, but he did not love Krishna. Whereas Vrishnis and Pandavas, they were attached to Krishna. And Uddhava knew everything about Krishna, but his qualification was not knowledge. But he loved Krishna. That's why Krishna spoke Uddhav Gita. Bhishma had all knowledge, but Bhishma was dear to Krishna not because he had all knowledge, but because he loved Krishna. Hanumanji had all the knowledge. Hanumanji was a great scholar. He knew grammar, he knew logic, he knew scriptures, but his greatness is not because of his learning. His greatness is because of his deep love for Lord Ram. So therefore, it is love that dissolves the ego. It's love that gives us real knowledge of Krishna. Now, Srila Prabhupada knew Bhagavad Gita. There are many scholars in India who know Bhagavad Gita, but none of them transformed the world like Srila Prabhupada did. Because although he didn't have any political power, he didn't have any resources, he loved Krishna, therefore he could spread the message of the Bhagavad Gita. He could spread the message of Krishna. So this is love that empowers us to carry Krishna. So therefore this is the main thing. Prahlad Maharaj did not memorize the Vedas, he simply loved Krishna. The gopis did not go to the universities, but they loved Krishna, they offered everything. For what Krishna responds to is not logic, but love. And we want to have this love. So we chant, we study, we come to temple, not to know about Krishna, but to somehow develop love for Krishna. Because this is an emotional, trust-filled, and it's a fulfilling experience. And this theoretical understanding that we have, the reading of scriptures, this is just the beginning. What we are doing now, this is the beginning. So please ask yourself, don't try to tell me, where are you on this journey? Are you a visitor? Are you a practitioner? Or a lover of Krishna? So let us say, now what is the next step? We are going to discuss a few steps that we could immediately practice and see the results. Let us say you are a visitor. So how will you move to being a practitioner? Daily commitment, right? Discipline. Let us say you are a practitioner. How will you move to be a lover? Trust, Krishna, vulnerability, emotionally surrendering. So from paper, which is knowing, we want to enter the stage of practice. From practice, we want to have deep prayer. So when Krishna says, one who knows me is always going to be happy, he means one who loves him. So therefore, let us pray to Krishna, not for information, not for our problems to be solved, but for affection. Not just for facts. We don't want facts in bhakti, we want feeling. So therefore, this is love, which is the most only credential that matters. So let us now discuss how we can move. Some basic steps I'm going to discuss with you. 5 things that we could do by which we can rise from being a visitor in Krishna consciousness to a practitioner, then to a lover. Okay? The first step is, this is the most difficult, so that's why I'm speaking about it in the beginning itself. But this is the most important. First step is honestly ask this question every day or regularly. What is the question? Can I honestly say I know Krishna? Please ask this question to yourself. Can I honestly say I know Krishna? What will happen when you ask this question to yourself? When I sit alone and I ask this question, can I honestly say I know Krishna? I get contradictory answers in my heart. What do you think is the first answer I get? Do I really know Krishna? The answer is no. N-O. The answer is very clear and very loud. But also, you will see simultaneously when you ask this question, you will also hear an answer which says yes. Because the fact that you're asking this question means you are a sincere seeker. And that sincerity gives you peace immediately. Therefore, I don't know Krishna in one sense, because to know Krishna means not simply to recite his names or pastimes. See, to know Krishna means you should be able to feel Krishna's presence in your breath. We need to feel Krishna when we are making choices. When we are sitting silently, we need to feel Krishna's presence. And when we act, when we do service, we need to feel Krishna is there. That's when we know. This is the definition of knowing Krishna. But I don't have that. But when I know that I don't know Krishna, then I become humble. And in that humility, I develop deeper knowledge because I become qualified for Krishna to reciprocate with me. Therefore, along with humility, so there are two things here. One is, I don't know Krishna, but because there is humility, I will also feel hopeful. And I become qualified for Krishna to transmit knowledge in my heart. Therefore, we begin to know Krishna when we say, I don't know him. Not theoretically, but actually, when we ask honestly this question, do I really know Krishna? Do I really love Krishna? No. So that becomes our qualification. That becomes the starting point. For this desire to know Krishna, this desire to connect with Krishna is our first and most important step that we need to take. And this requires us to spend some time with humility. So what is the first step to develop love for Krishna? Honestly asking what question? Do I really know Krishna? Second step is very, very important. It is gratitude and introspection. Basically, make a clear framework and move consciously. Gratitude is not a feeling. Gratitude is a practice. So your first step is, of course, you are coming to the programs, you are hearing, you are knowing. So you are reading about Krishna, the mind is engaged. But you will see, despite knowing all of this, there is dryness. There may not be bliss in bhakti. For that time, this introspection helps. Like for example, let us say you are hearing today's class. Instead of simply writing notes and hearing like a ritual, you could do some introspection tonight before sleeping. How can this today's class which I heard, how can it help me develop love for Krishna? This is called introspection. Or what does today's class reveal to me about Krishna's heart? When we go deeper into what we study or hear, that is called introspection. Then you will notice, when you start doing introspection, you will start noticing that you are entering the space from informational space to personal space. A small shift starts happening inside when we become introspective in bhakti. You start developing feelings for Krishna. Therefore, it's very important to practice introspection and especially gratitude, because then you start moving from being a visitor to a practitioner. You start becoming serious. And if you are a practitioner already, then again introspection and gratitude helps, because now Krishna is God, you start reaching out. But still, when we are praying to Krishna as a practitioner, we are filled with selfishness. I want to improve my chanting. I want to be a good devotee. I want my family to be happy. So then what we do? We start practicing gratitude. Thank you, Krishna, for giving me this gift. Thank you for giving me a good family. Thank you for giving me a good job. Thank you for giving me association of devotees. So when you keep thanking Krishna repeatedly, then inadvertently, you will not even realize how, but in your expression of gratitude, you may land up saying, Krishna, you have done so much for me, thank you. What can I do for you? How can I please you? And when we say this sentence with feeling, we have entered the third stage of knowing Krishna. Because now we are having a relationship. Because in a relationship, we don't talk only about ourselves. If you love someone, you don't talk to them only about yourself. You also talk to that person about that person. Isn't it? Do you say, I love you so much, let me only talk about myself to you? No, if you love, you will also want to know what the other person wants. Similarly, when we express gratitude, and then when that gratitude leads us to ask Krishna, Krishna, how can I serve you? How can I please you? Then the magic happens. Because Krishna every day is advising us, is arranging things for us, is allowing us to do some things. So when we recognize how Krishna is arranging, advising, allowing us, we become Krishna conscious. We start moving forward. We become introspective. Like for example, I had this bead bag. I was sitting in a train and I was chanting and I felt a little drowsy. I kept my bead bag on the table and then I took a short nap, and then my destination arrived. I took my bag to get off the train. As I was getting down, I suddenly remembered my bead bag was in the table. I came running back, picked up my bead bag and got off the train. This is an ordinary incident. You may say, oh, you just remembered. It was coincidence. It was something. You just remembered. So what's the big deal? But there's another way of looking at it. If we are introspective, if we have a practice of gratitude, we will realize that, oh, Krishna reminded me to pick up my bead bag. That voice in the heart that you hear is the Lord. Because in the Gita, Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishto matta smritirgyanam apohanam cha vedesha sarve rahameva vedyo vedanta kridveda videva chaham. I am in the heart. I cause remembrance. So one way of seeing it is, oh, I've forgotten my bead bag, but suddenly I remembered. Another way of seeing is, Krishna is traveling with me in the train. Krishna is seated next to me. And as I was getting down, Krishna patted me on the shoulder and said, Prabhu, you've forgotten your bead bag. Krishna didn't say Prabhu. Krishna said, you rascal. Krishna won't call us Prabhu. You rascal. You forgot your bead bag. You took a vow of initiation. During initiation that you will chant. But then, oh, thank you, Krishna. So one devotee will rush back and collect his bead bag. Another devotee will also rush back and collect his bead bag. But before doing that, he will say, thank you, Krishna, for reminding me. So that's how we move in our bhakti. From informational to personal, from personal to relational, from being a visitor to a practitioner, from practitioner to a lover. We start investing emotions. So like that. So this is the way. Like I'll give another example. Recently in Mumbai, I came to know that 3 devotees, close friends of mine, developed a strong prejudice against another devotee. And this devotee is also dear to me. Please understand this. 3 devotees developed a wrong understanding about one devotee. I came to know that they have discussed amongst themselves and they have come to this conclusion. Now, I wanted to tell them, you have a wrong understanding. This devotee is not like this. But if I go and tell them, they will be shocked that I know what they were discussing, because the 4th person who's close to them told me. And he also told me they should never know that I told you. So now I'm desperate that their misconception goes away, but they cannot know that I know what they are thinking about him. Do you see my predicament? I think we also have been in that situation. So I was praying intensely, then I gave up thinking. And then one day we were taking prasadam, and what an amazing arrangement by Krishna. The 3 of them, one of them suddenly mentioned this devotee's name in another context about some other incident. And the other devotee also spoke something. And I got a perfect situation for me to clarify that doubt which they had without they getting a hint that I know what they are thinking. And when the whole thing happened, I came back to my room and I realized, wow, how Krishna masterfully orchestrated this event. So I wrote in my journal, thank you, Krishna, for arranging this situation. So it's Krishna who arranged this. Krishna who advises us. So therefore, let us say you are a practitioner coming to temple regularly. Now you want to go to the 3rd phase. What is the first phase? Visitor. 2nd, practitioner. 3rd, lover. From informational to personal to relational. So this will only happen when we start practicing gratitude and introspection. That's how we move up the ladder. Now let us say you are also very, very very keen to move from practitioner to lover. You are saying, I am practicing gratitude, introspect, all that is okay. But I want to go fast. This is going to take time. I want to make immediate advancement in Krishna consciousness. I want to make fast advancement. Well, then there is a magic question you have to ask. If you ask this question, जय श्री शादा नील माधव भगवान की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय, निताई गौरांगा की जय, नरसिम्हदेव भगवान की जय. Okay, so now let us say we want to make rapid advancement. We don't want to take a long time through gratitude and introspection. Okay, if you really want to rise to the lover stage, then during introspection ask a very simple question. What does Krishna want from me? Let us shift the focus. Right now the focus is, what am I feeling? What do I want? And Krishna, please give me. That's why our relationship is personal. But it becomes a lover relationship when we start asking, what does Krishna want from me? Krishna, how can I please you? Krishna, what do you expect from me? And when we ask this question, we start feeling a longing for the Lord. See, right now, we are all practitioners. I'm assuming we are all visitor, practitioner, lover. Let us say most of us we are in practitioner stage. So as a practitioner, whatever we are doing, why are we doing? The main goal is to purify ourselves. Practitioner's focus is, I want to purify my heart. But a lover's focus is, I want to please Krishna. I want to make Krishna happy. So, let us start asking this question now. How can I please Krishna? What does Krishna want from me? Then you will see this shift happen. So, we have discussed out of the 5, we have discussed 2 steps. What is the first step? Honestly asking what question? Do I really know Krishna? And what will happen when we ask this question? We'll get a contradictory answer. We don't know Krishna because that's very humbling. But in that humility, we'll also feel that I'm sincere and we will develop some feelings for Krishna. And the second step is gratitude and introspection. But if you are feeling both the steps are slow and you want to make rapid advancement, then in your introspection, what question you can ask? What Krishna wants from me. Because right now our practices are to purify ourselves because we are at the practitioner stage. But if we want to enter a lover stage, we have to think of not purification but pleasing Krishna. Now third step is the most practical and immediate benefits you get. And this is called coming back to Krishna or calling Krishna. Do you call your friend or your partner, your wife, your husband when you go to India or when your partner has gone to India? We call them, right? Now, this is very, very important, very practical. It's very poetic, very practical, very potent. Like in a conversation, in a social setting, or let us say some mundane tasks you are doing, if you immediately, instantly offer a prayer internally, Krishna, or you silently breathe Krishna's name, Krishna, please help me do this. Or let us say you are talking to someone and then internally at the Madhyama Vak, at the thought form, you offer a prayer, Krishna, please help me serve him. Krishna, please take care of me. Whenever we enter Krishna space through our thoughts, we are calling Krishna. Trung, trung, we are making a phone call. We are connecting to Krishna. We are coming back to Krishna. This is like a mini return trip. We are coming back to Krishna. And if we can do this many times during the day, we are stitching a thread. We are threading a life which is filled with belongingness. So that's when we connect to the Paramatma. You all know that there is a Lord in the heart we call as Paramatma. One of the biggest misconceptions devotees have in ISKCON is that Paramatma is a witness. He is in the heart. He is witnessing what I am doing. No, Prabhu's, Mataji's, Paramatma is not a witness. Paramatma is a silent lover in the heart. He is waiting for you to turn to him. So when we can come back to Krishna, when we can start talking to Krishna regularly, just imagine Krishna sitting beside you. When we say Krishna is in the heart, you take him out of your heart and put him next to you. That's what Krishna is doing 24/7. So anytime you can ask Krishna, how can I please you? Or Krishna, please help me. So whenever we are doing that, we are rising from being a visitor to a practitioner. This Paramatma is the doorway, is the gate between my personal and relational bhakti. Paramatma is the factor that helps us move beyond our rituals in bhakti. Paramatma is the person who makes us move from the world of our own mind to Krishna's world. Paramatma is the person who makes a bhakti from informational to personal, personal to relational. So let us say, I'll give a practical example how it works. Let us say we are at the visitor level, okay? Some of you are visitors here. Let us say how we can move to being a practitioner. So if you want to rise from being a visitor to a practitioner, a good practitioner, this is how we'll call Krishna. This is how we'll come back to Krishna. You will say, to the Paramatma in the heart, you will say, Krishna, please help me get a good job. Krishna, please help me get a good wife, good husband. Krishna, please help me in this interview. Krishna, please help me. So what you are doing? You are coming back to Krishna. When you are praying like this, you are actually connecting with Krishna. And you are moving beyond informational to personal. You are having a personal relationship. But it is selfish. We are asking about ourselves. But it is a good space to be in because you are treating Krishna as a person. At least you are not simply reading about Krishna. You are actually praying, although it is for your own job, own comfort. But you are building an emotional presence with Krishna. Krishna becomes real for us. But we can't stop there. If many of us are praying every day, Krishna, please help me, Krishna, please protect my children. We are in the personal space. But we have not entered the third space. We have to enter the third space where we start praying differently to the same Paramatma. We start praying. What are we praying when we are in the practitioner stage? Krishna, please get me a job. Help me. Help protect my children. But when we want to enter the lover stage, we pray like this. Krishna, how can I serve you? Krishna, how can I please you? Krishna, I really want to please you. Krishna, please guide me. How can... So this is, when we are thinking of Krishna's desire, we are moving to the lover space. Because many of us are praying to Krishna every day, but we are in our own world. We are not in Krishna's world. Now, I'm not saying this is wrong. We have our problems. We have our challenges. If we don't pray for ourselves, who will pray for us? We need to tell Krishna, Krishna, help me. That's good. But we also need to spend some time in the space where we want to please Krishna. That's when love blossoms. That's when the knowledge transforms into belonging. And that's when, see, when we want to serve Krishna, if you love someone in this world, what is the sign that you love? You will serve. And when you keep serving a person, you develop love. So therefore, this is a magic key. How can I serve you, Krishna? How can I please you? And doing something for Krishna. Like, you could cook something for Krishna today. Or you could write a letter to Krishna. So offer a small flower when you come to the temple. Or some little renunciation for Krishna. Krishna, I give up this for you. Something for Krishna. So then, when we do these three things, what is the first thing to develop a loving relationship with Krishna? First one. Honest question. What question? Do I honestly know Krishna? And the contradictory answer will keep us humble, and that humility will attract Krishna's mercy. What is the second step? Gratitude and introspection. And if you want to make that, expedite that process of introspection, then what question we should ask? What can I do for you? And what is the third step? Coming back to Krishna means calling Krishna. Wherever we are, we connect to who? The Paramatma in the heart. Who is not a witness. Who is Paramatma? He is a silent lover. He loves us. So this is basically the first three steps are based on the principle of quality time with Krishna. Just like in a relationship, what happens? When does intimacy develop? When there is proximity. When you are connected to each other, then intimacy develops. Similarly, when you are chanting, don't rush your japa. Chant with feeling. Be with Krishna. What pastime did I read today? What did I learn today? What does this tell me about Krishna's personality? So this, basically we have to transform scriptures into a conversation, not just content. Right now we look at scriptures as content. Oh Prabhu, create new content on your YouTube channel. Somebody is telling me, oh Prabhu, I've seen your lectures on YouTube. They're all same, Please give us new content. So I tell them, but scriptures is not for content. It's a conversation. We are connecting with Krishna. The same thing has to be discussed again and again and again. Okay, anyway, after the 3 steps that you follow, the mind will still harass you. Therefore, we need a 4th step, which is very, very powerful. This is called the right internal dialogue or affirmations. Means the internal dialogue means we can ask this question whenever we are disturbed. Whom do I belong to? Please, Prabhus and Matajis, please know this is a very extremely powerful question. Whom do I belong to? Do I belong to Maya or do I belong to Krishna? See, when you are miserable or when you are in doubt or confused, please ask, whom do I belong to? This is one of the central identity crises of the living entity is, I belong to Maya or I belong to Krishna. Now, belonging to Krishna is not a feeling. It's a decision which we take again and again. This is a choice we make every day. Like many times I've seen, we say, devotees say loudly, I belong to Krishna. But what choices do we make? What do we choose? See, when we make a choice, let's say you choose Maya. Let's say you have a choice now of chanting 2 rounds of Hare Krishna and watching the latest Netflix series. So let us say you made a choice of watching the Netflix series. When you do that, when you make that choice, you may not say it out loud, but that particular moment, you are saying, I belong to Maya. Or let us say you choose, okay, I'm going to read Bhagavatam now for the next 10 minutes. So when we made that choice, we may not say it out loud, but by that choice, we are saying, what? I belong to Krishna. So each time we choose surrender over self-centeredness, we are saying, I belong to you. When I accept, like sometimes when you accept Krishna's plan, although you are in pain, when you accept Krishna's plan, you are saying, I trust you, Krishna. You are saying that. You may not say it out loud, but the action says it. Let us say sometimes some devotee, senior devotee tells you, Prabhu, do this seva. And you don't understand why you should do it. But still you follow with faith. So when you are doing that, you may not say it out loud, but you are saying, Krishna, I love you. You are saying that, although you may not say it out explicitly. So the point I'm saying is, we are saying many things subconsciously when we perform actions. When we make choices, we are saying some things. So I'm saying now, let us reverse. Let us say it out consciously, loudly, and let that saying lead us to making the right choices. See, when we make choices, we are saying, Krishna, I belong to you. So I'm saying, let us start saying, I belong to you, and that will help us make the right choices. Ulta. Like, I belong to you, Krishna. I love you, Krishna. I want to please you, Krishna. I made a wrong choice. Now I want to make the right choice. This affirmations helps us to reset the brain. It helps us change the neurological settings here. It helps us to create a new pathway, new neural pathways in the brain. It's possible. We want to come back to Krishna, but we need to start affirming that I belong to Krishna. I belong to Krishna. I want to serve Krishna. That helps us make the right choices. So these are the 4 steps if you are trying to have a deep relationship with Krishna. See, because we don't want to be a fan of Krishna like a social media lover. Remember, I gave the example of Virat Kohli. We don't want to be simply somebody who knows him through social media. We also don't want to be somebody at the second level who knows him like a team player or a colleague. We want to know him like his wife knows him or his mother knows him. So for that, we need to have these 4 steps. What is the first step? Honestly asking what question? Do I really know Krishna? What is the second step? Gratitude and introspection. What is the third step? Coming back to Krishna. Third step is coming back to Krishna. Which means connecting to who? The Paramatma in the heart. That is the third step. What is the fourth step? Whom do I belong? Or affirmations. Internal dialogue. This is the fourth step. So therefore, we want to know Krishna at the third level. Just like I was giving the example of Anushka Sharma. She says, I know Krishna. No, she says, I know her husband. She knows her husband. She knows Krishna also maybe. But she says, I know my husband. Virat Kohli, his teammate, Rohit Sharma says, I know Virat Kohli. And you say, I also know Virat Kohli. But all three are different. There is a difference between knowing Krishna by a stranger and by a family member. So Anushka Sharma, she is seeing Virat Kohli as raw, unfiltered, his vulnerability, his joy, his weaknesses, his strengths. She knows him really well. So when we know Krishna's rasa, Krishna's mood, then we know him. And this comes from vichara, rasa, chanting, naam, seva, and especially offering of the heart. So this is how it works. Simple, very simple way to know. I have a relationship with Krishna at the level of informational, personal, or transformational. Simple. Informational means, what can I get? This is a question we are always asking. When you come to temple also, what can I get? What is in it for me? This is informational or visitor consciousness. Practitioner consciousness is, how can I connect? How can I purify my heart? How can I improve my chanting? And that time also, it is selfish only, but it is better because we want to be serious. We are investing emotions in Krishna. It is better than the first. But lover is, what can I give Krishna? What can I do for Krishna? This is how we progress in bhakti. So another affirmation at the fourth. This is the fourth step I was talking about. Another affirmation we can do is, let me receive your love. When we make this prayer, Krishna, let me receive your grace. Actually, this is the most vulnerable and most powerful prayer. Krishna, I want to receive your mercy. Because we're not demanding love, we are opening our heart to receive it. So, and Krishna is more than eager to give us. So, because right now our false ego is blocking. But when we offer this prayer, we are letting the false ego melt away. So, many of us are unfortunately using Krishna, but bhakti is all about offering Krishna. Right now Krishna is the means for my ends. But I want Krishna as the end. So we are trying to flip the whole prayer. Right now we are saying, we are practitioners because we are saying, Krishna, please let me achieve this. Krishna, please help me get this. But when we become a lover, when we change the prayer to Krishna, how can I serve you today? Krishna, how can I please you today? I'm again and again saying, Prabhus, this may not be practical to do the whole time, but at least once or twice in a day also if we say, rest of the day you pray for yourself. No problem. It's okay. It's completely okay. You are grahasthas, we have our problems, we have our challenges. No problem. But at least, see, if you love someone, you'll also want to do something for that person, right? So at least once in a day, Krishna, I love you. Can I do something for you? Because right now, Krishna is not our beloved. Krishna is our assistant. we may not say it. We may say Krishna is my God, but we treat Krishna as my assistant. And our whole mood is, this world is my home and Krishna is a guest. Come Krishna, you can do something for me? Good. You are my assistant. No, we want to become Krishna's lover, then we have to start seeing Krishna as our beloved Lord. So this is some of the things I wanted to share. There are some more things, but I want to, I said 5 steps, right? So I shared only 4. One last one also I'll share. No, I think I'll pause it. It's too long. We want to keep some time for question and answers. So let us conclude the 4 steps. The 5th one is easy, association. This is the most easiest way, because if you spend time with those who love Krishna, then you will also be able to recalibrate who you belong to. You belong to Maya or you belong to Krishna. So whom do you associate with? Those who speak about Krishna, those who give you information of Krishna, or those who speak with affection for Krishna. Like when I hear Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu, when I hear their classes, I can see they speak with affection for Krishna. That affection is very powerful. So spend time with those who have affection for Krishna. Ask them how they remember Krishna. Ask them how they do bhakti. So this will give us a mirror on how relational bhakti looks like. So this is very, very important. And when we practice these 5 steps, then we will start knowing what Krishna wants from us. We will realize that Krishna doesn't want my skills, my achievements. Krishna wants my heart. Krishna wants me to offer my love. So even if it is small and insignificant, we have to offer our heart. And also Krishna wants us to surrender, but surrender not in the sense of a defeat, but in sense of intimacy. So ability to trust Krishna even when it is hard. So Krishna wants us to reciprocate with him, because Krishna is already giving us a lot of things. But if you see in our classes, we always talk about how Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. And we want to hear in classes also how Krishna reciprocates with his devotees, because we want to have faith that Krishna is taking care of me. Because subconsciously we are saying, I am doing so much for Krishna. Does Krishna reciprocate? But actually we should be asking, am I reciprocating with Krishna? So when we start practicing these 5 steps, we will start realizing that I have to reciprocate with Krishna. And we'll also start hearing that Krishna wants us to be happy in relationship with Krishna. And the most important, when we start practicing these 5 steps, we will realize that Krishna wants us to help others come back to him. He wants us to share this knowledge with others. So please allow Krishna to transform our lives. Let us allow Krishna to transform our lives. And we will be able to hear Krishna's voice. Sometimes devotees say, what do you mean? How does Krishna's voice sound like? When I send a voice note on WhatsApp, I know how somebody's voice is. But how can we hear Krishna's voice? Simple. If you want to hear Krishna's voice, you practice these 5 steps. And then you will hear Krishna's voice. And I'll tell you how Krishna's voice sounds like. Like, let's say you come to temple, and suddenly you hear a shloka from the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, and that verse moves you, or it resonates with you. When that happens, that is Krishna speaking. Or let us say, you're interacting with devotees, and suddenly some realization comes to you. That realization is Krishna's voice. Or let us say, you are with devotee, and some devotee comes and says some very kind words, and genuinely the devotee appreciates you from the heart, and your heart is touched. That is Krishna speaking through that devotee. And sometimes you may be in the temple or you may be at home looking at the deities, and suddenly an overwhelming sense of peace may envelop your heart. That is Krishna. So Krishna does speak to us, but his voice is not the voice like gross, made of material sound. Krishna's voice can be heard through our daily practices. So I will pause here. We can have some discussions now. So the 5 steps to move from being a visitor to a practitioner to a lover. The first step is honestly asking the question, do I really know Krishna? And the contradiction, the paradoxical answer will keep us humble and qualify ourselves to receive Krishna's love. Second is introspection and gratitude. And third, coming back to Krishna by connecting to the Paramatma in the heart, by offering prayers. Fourth, affirmations or internal dialogue, and especially saying, I belong to Krishna, or I want to receive Krishna's love. And the 5th step is association of those who speak about, not about Krishna with information, but with affection. So when we have these 5 steps in our lives, then we can hear Krishna's voice. We can feel Krishna's love, and we can actually know Krishna. Like Arjuna knows in the first canto, 15th chapter, which is what we studied today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And yes, Mataji. These are the 5 steps. This is what I shared today. Beautiful. Thank you. This is where we want to go. This is where we want to reach. Thank you. See, I've seen many devotees teach affirmations. I myself practice affirmations like, when I'm in a lot of anxiety, too many things happening, I say, all that needs to be done by me is done. I'm at peace. Life is peaceful. Life is relaxed. I keep saying this just to slow down my mind. So affirmations are great. But actual affirmation which works is when we say statements like, Krishna, I belong to you. I do not belong to Maya. I belong to Krishna. Krishna, I now receive your grace. So when this is the kind of affirmation which is the sincere cry of a soul. This is not sitting on the edge. This is not trying to make this world a better place. So therefore, affirmations are not bad. It's just that what kind of statements we make, that is important. Yes, any other questions? Yes, Prabhu. Okay, we'll take that question. Yes.
Prabhu, that example, how is that affirmation different from a prayer? Because prayer could also be like that cry that Krishna, please take care of me.
Yes, it's same. But there is more to prayer. In prayer, we think prayer means affirmation. No, prayer is affirmation plus silence. We think prayer means talking. Keep telling Krishna, I want this, that is prayer. No, prayer also means listening to Krishna. So, just like in a relationship, when you're talking to someone, you also listen to that person. Can you just sit quietly in the temple hall looking at the deities and just being in the presence? Can you be? For us, everything in Krishna consciousness is do. D-O. We have become human doing. We are supposed to be human being. So, prayer is when we offer our heart and then wait for Krishna to fill our heart with His presence. Affirmation is one part of prayer. Okay?
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 4 types of people comes to Krishna. One of them is a gnani. In the follow-up verses, Krishna says, Tesham gnani nitya yukta eka bhakti vishishyate. So there the doubt arises, so gnani is someone who has very determined, and eka bhakti means very fond bhakti. So is Krishna referring there? Gnani is someone who pursued the Eka Bhakti. And then follow-up verses, Krishna says, Bhavanam Janmanamante Nivam Mam Prabhatyate. So is he referring to that Gnani who has Eka Bhakti for many lifetimes? And then now connecting to the gopis. the gopis reach that the firm conviction in Krishna. What I heard is they have developed a love by listening about Krishna. And my understanding was until that day they were asked to give food for Krishna. My understanding was that they never saw Krishna, but they only heard about Krishna. So if you connect all these dots, these gopis, they have performed Eka Bhakti for so many lifetimes, Bahunam Janmanamante, and that's how they have showed that affection. So all these four different places I'm trying to connect in my mind, Prabhuji, and if you can help me.
Yeah.
How
I don't know
this-
the answer to this question. You can ask someone who knows it. Maybe somebody knows here, they can answer. I don't know. I'll also have to spend time on this question. But according to what I have understood, is that gopis or brajavasis, they are beyond knowledge. See, at our level, we need knowledge to love Krishna. We are in darkness, so we need sunlight. But gopis' love is beyond light. For their love to manifest, there is a darkness needed. So how do you understand this? Simple. There is, okay, please understand like this. There is complete darkness and we are confused. So what we need at that time? Light. So we don't know what is life, what is death, who is God. That is darkness. Then we get Bhagavad Gita. We become Jnani. That is like knowledge coming. And we understand, oh, this is Krishna. Krishna is God. I should love Krishna. I came to class. The sunlight has come. Now I understand. So I will start practicing. I heard in the class. I will solve these 5 steps today which Prabhuji taught. This is all like sunlight appearing and darkness going. Great. So we become devotees. But gopis are in different category. Gopis are, to understand gopis' love, it is called pole star love. So, to see the pole star, the sunlight has to go away. It has to again become dark. You can't see pole star when there is sunlight. Are you getting this? Similarly, what gopis are experiencing for Krishna, this knowledge will not help. There is something beyond this knowledge. There is so much love that gopis have for Krishna, so much knowledge so much love they have for Krishna, that love covers the knowledge. Just like the darkness covers the sun and then the pole star is seen. So our love for Krishna will come when we have knowledge. But gopis' love is called Jnana Shunya Bhakti. Their bhakti is free. Jnana is completely covered. They are like, they only love Krishna. They don't care whether Krishna is God or not God. In fact, they refuse. If you tell them Krishna is God, they will dismiss your theory. But we cannot do that. We are in darkness. We are in the bodily consciousness of life. Therefore, we need sunlight of knowledge. Therefore, we need jnana. That is what happened to Uddhava. Uddhava was a great scholar. He is incarnation of Brahaspati, disciple of Brahaspati. Very, very knowledgeable. And he went to Vrindavan to educate the Brijvasis that Krishna is God. So he is telling Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda, why are you crying? They are saying, oh, Krishna is not come back. So Uddhava says, Arey, Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda, you know you are Krishna, you are crying. Don't cry. Your Krishna is not ordinary boy. He is Supreme Lord. They are like, what? He is our child. No. You know what he has done? He has defeated Jarasandha 17 times. He has killed so many demons. This is all knowledge, right? He has knowledge. He is telling all this. And what does Nanda Baba say? Oh, he is fighting so many battles. So when you hear Krishna is killing so many demons, you will think, wow, he must be God. But Nanda Baba and Mother Yashoda's logic is, oh, he's killed so many demons, he must be very tired, he must be very weak. Is he eating properly? Their logic is logic of love, which is different from logic of knowledge. Your question is in the logic of knowledge space. So we need knowledge, we need to discuss, we need to analyze. But for them, it is beyond knowledge. So then Uddhava says, no, wait. Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda, see, you don't understand. Krishna is not ordinary person. He is God. He can defeat Jarasandha. He will not be weak. So then Nanda Baba says, oh, Uddhava, I thought you are very intelligent. But I didn't know you are Buddhu. How can Krishna be God? See, we know little bit Vedas. We heard that God means Narayan, one who gives shelter to everyone. But Krishna, we gave him shelter. So how can he be God? And you are saying Krishna is God, but Krishna is someone who is aptakam, completely satisfied. But our Krishna is greedy for butter. So how can he be God? So logically they prove to Uddhava that Krishna is not God. So atheistic person will also say Krishna is not God. And Brijavasi will also say Krishna is not God. But the difference is atheistic person will say Krishna is not God out of envy. Brijavasi will say Krishna is not God out of love. So love is higher than knowledge. So for that, knowledge has to be covered. So then Uddhava, he starts saying, gopis are crying for Krishna. He's telling, don't cry. Then he says, no. This is a goal of life to cry for Krishna. So he tells them, cry more. Cry more. So Uddhava went to Vrindavan wearing the hat of knowledge, Jnana. I know everything about Krishna. Bhavanam Janmanamante, that verse. Jnani is the best. Yes, I know everything about Krishna. I am very close to Krishna. He was also a lover of Krishna. But gopis were even more lover. Because Uddhava's love for Krishna was Jnana Mishra Bhakti. He loved Krishna with a mixing of knowledge. But Gopi's love was Jnana Shunya Bhakti. Jnana was gone. So Uddhava went wearing the big hat of knowledge to Vrindavan to educate the gopis. Krishna sent him to become humble. And when Krishna saw gopis love Krishna so much, it is so high. And he had gone wearing the hat of knowledge. When he saw the gopis love is so high, his hat of knowledge fell down. And then he realized that his knowledge is not sufficient to understand Krishna. So right now, we are Buddhus. We are in darkness. We need sunlight to understand reality of material world, all there. But once we start developing deep love, then this knowledge has to get covered. And there has to be only love. So gopis, when you started saying gopis, suddenly my intelligence short circuit ho gaya. Because till you don't get gopis, till you talk about ourselves, all that jnana and all discussion is okay. When Brijavasis enter the picture, then whole game changes. Krishna consciousness becomes a completely different dynamics. So our goal is, we want to reach that stage. But we can't artificially go there. One Srila Prabhupada said, so, you cannot understand Krishna. Krishna is very deep. So one devotee said, Prabhupada, but you wrote so many books for us to understand Krishna. Prabhupada said, no. I wrote so many books so that you understand that you cannot understand Krishna. So we want to love, that's why I said today, we want to love Krishna. Why? Because ultimately it is love that will help us understand Krishna completely. In the real sense. But technical understanding we will not get. That is why the question has, my ability to answer this question has limitations. So that's the way it is. But you can still consult some other devotees and get a more answer that will satisfy you. Hare Krishna. I can take his question first. Thank you.
I just want to add just one line. Like when you were saying about the gopis, right? That knowledge is covered by love. So I was remembering Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport of Lord Rama's chapter, where he says these gopis in the previous age were the sages of the
Yes.
So they were already knowledgeable, they acquired everything.
Yes, that's a good one. Yes. They already had knowledge in the previous life. Yes, that is perfect. Thank you. Yes. Anything else? You have another question, I think. If somebody else has a question, we can take, or else we can take Prabhu's.
Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Then when it comes to Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mataji, they don't express that Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And then is it the instruction in the Bhagavad Gita
Sorry? It doesn't apply to them. They are beyond Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is for us, for you and me, not for Brajavasis. Brajavasis don't believe Krishna lifted Govardhan. Brajavasis' theory is, कुछ माखन सा बल बढ़ो, कुछ गोपन करे सहाय, श्री राधा जी की कृपा सो गिरिवर लिए उठाए. They say, oh, he's eating nice butter, Mother Yashoda has made, because of that he got strength. And the Gopas also say, we put our sticks there, and Govardhan was so ecstatic because we are performing so much worship, so Govardhan became ecstatic and he started floating. And Krishna, to take credit, you put your finger up. They have a whole different theory. So they will not understand all the Krishnas. If you have present logic, they will not understand. Once Krishna killed one demon, so Sridama and Stoka Krishna said, Arey, who is this? Is this somebody else or Krishna? Come Krishna. Then they wrestled with Krishna. And in that wrestling match, Krishna got defeated. Then they said, yeah, our Krishna only. Normal. And once Krishna said, don't tease me, I am God. Don't you know, I did this, I went to Aghasur, I killed Aghasur, I lifted Govardhan, I did this, I killed Putana. So then the boy started saying, Krishna, we know, Putana got killed because Mother Yashoda is always praying for your safety. Our mantras killed Putana, not you. And Govardhan, actually, we all had already lifted Govardhan with our sticks. You just put your pinky finger and you took credit. And Aghasur, we had already entered Aghasur's mouth and we had killed him. You just entered in the end. So they just won't get convinced that Krishna is God. So Rupa Goswami gives a very good analogy. He says, sometimes you will see in 10th canto that Gopas is saying, oh, is Krishna God? He's doing all this? Then immediately they say, Krishna cannot be God. So Rupa Goswami gives the analogy that sometimes when you are boiling milk in an open area, so some blade of grass may fall on the milk, so sometimes the blade of grass may float on top, but then again it goes down. So similarly, sometimes they may get this knowledge that, oh, Krishna is God or something, but then again it will get drowned. So that love is highest love, which is beyond knowledge. That is our goal. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradarana Para. So we have these goals. Our goal is Aradhya Bhagavan, the darling of Vrindavan, Krishna. And Vrindavan is our worshipable land. And the gopis are our role model. Srimad Bhagavatam is our goal. But these are some of our goals which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. But we can't artificially go there. We can't say, okay, I don't want any knowledge of Krishna, I love Krishna. Then we'll become Sahajiya, we'll become cheap. Like when Srila Prabhupada was in Chennai, one Grahastha couple, they had Radha Krishna deities at home. They had dressed the deities in complete black cloth. Radharani was also covered with like burqa, complete black. Prabhupada was saying, what is this? Black, complete black. Krishna dress was black color, Radharani is black. What is this? So they said, no, our deities are so effulgent, their effulgence is so glaring, we are not able to take it, so we have put black dress. Prabhupada, this is cheap. They are saying like that. And one family told Prabhupada, they were not chanting, they were not doing any bhakti. Swamiji, please tell us about Rasa Leela. We want to hear about Rasa Leela. Prabhupada said, that's very advanced topic. We should not artificially discuss that topic. No, Swamiji, we are very excited. They were very big donors. They were thinking, Prabhupada could have said, oh, just to please them, he could have spoken. Prabhupada said, this is a very advanced topic. We should not prematurely discuss this. We should have basic knowledge first. No, Swamiji, please tell us about Rasa Leela. Then Prabhupada folded his palm, said, you may be qualified to hear it, but I don't know the topic. Prabhupada doesn't know. Prabhupada knows very well. But because they were not qualified, Prabhupada did not give them. So, we can't artificially go there where the Gopas and Gopis are. We love them. We relish their pastimes, but we fix ourselves. We want the knowledge of sunlight knowledge to be there. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andhakar. We want to remove that illusion. And then when Krishna is happy with us, Krishna will cover our intelligence and fill our hearts with love. That is up to Krishna. But our job is to be in knowledge of Krishna. Is that okay?
So the Bhagavad Gita actually was given to the Surya Bhagavan, and the knowledge level with the knowledge of gopis did not instruct, Krishna did not instruct them because it is to be discovered themselves after having this knowledge for so many lifetimes. This is the right understanding.
Yeah, Krishna gives that. It's not, we can't discover it. See, we can go from ground floor to first floor. Krishna is in second floor. From first floor to second floor, we cannot go. We have to come from ground floor to first floor. From first floor to second floor, how we go? Krishna will pick us up. So, from ignorance, which is ground floor, knowledge is first floor, love is second floor. So, from ignorance, we cannot go to love. From ignorance, we can come to first floor, which is knowledge of Krishna. And then, knowledge means third level of knowing. From our side, offering heart and all that. So, when we come to that level, from ignorance, first floor, then we wait. We wait for Krishna to pick us up. There is no staircase, there is no lift from first floor to second floor. We have to be there, and Krishna, I love you. Krishna, I offer my heart to you. So Krishna sees, he is knowing the third level of knowledge. Very good. Now he is qualified for the highest love. Then Krishna will pick us up. So Shuddha Nam is not achieved, it is received. Namaprad is where we are. Namabhas is our effort coming to first floor. But Shuddha Nam, love of Krishna, is given. It is not earned. So that's the way it is. Is that okay? Can we stop here? So my sincere gratitude to all of you for giving me a chance to do this 4 days katha. 4 days? Yeah. 4 days katha on Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity to ISKCON Seattle and all the devotees who welcome me every year, make me feel at home, make me feel very loved and give me a lot of respect. I feel very touched. And today afternoon I was telling one family that there are 2 things about ISKCON Seattle which has deeply nourished me. One is the children, the way children are growing up here. I guess it gives me a lot of faith in the process of Srila Prabhupada. And second is the community spirit. I see devotees struggling. They are really struggling, but they are having a community spirit. They hold on to each other. They tolerate because they know that we have nobody else other than devotees. So this is wonderful. This is very, very nourishing. So my sincere request, please keep this up. And please allow me to come and serve you. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. The Buddha has asked the practical understanding of this Bhagavatas from Bhagavatam and how to actually apply that to day-to-day life. Yesterday I was speaking about Prabhu's website, yogaformodernage.com. He has many such lectures, videos, and wisdom shared there. And he could not do 4 days of classes will not do the justice to all the things he actually understood, assimilated, and able to give it to us. So, but there are books which at least get us started. So these books are, some of you must have taken last year, but if you're not taken, please do consider. One is The Inner Journey, which is finding a safe space amidst chaos. And the second one is Mind Your Mind. 3 principles for happy living, right? There are 3 major classifications and how you actually mind your mind. And Lessons from the Road, which is applying all the spiritual wisdom in daily life. So all the 3 books are really valuable. If you're not taken, please do consider. These are available near the bookstore. And I took it, and I can say I can partially read, not completely. But it's a good beginning to get all the things which you would like to learn from Prabhu's experience. With that, let's say appreciate Prabhu's help here in actually giving this katha so that we can actually introspect on this by saying Hari Bol loudly. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Please come for every year, Prabhu, for a longer time. We will arrange. Hare Krishna.